Hi, it's Nikki from Mouths of Mums. Today we're in the MoM CookClub Kitchen for Ingham's Chicken, and we're going to whip up a delicious lemon pesto chicken, and we're going to serve that with some pasta. This is a great lunch or a dinner, and it is just delicious and so easy to make. To make your lemon pesto chicken, all you'll need is one whole fresh Ingham's chicken. Mine's nearly 2 kilos. You'll need some lovely fresh lemons, a cup and a half of some grated parmesan, 1 large tomato diced up, lots of garlic cloves, as many as you like really, a little bit of corn flour, some cream, 1.5 cups of pine nuts, some extra parmesan to serve, some pasta, a cup of white wine and 4 cups of chicken stock. And to add to our pesto, we'll need some lovely baby spinach leaves, and I've got some beautiful fresh parsley. So the first step is to drain your chicken and then give it a little pat down with some paper towel to dry it off. And then what I'm going to do is just brown that a little bit in olive oil. There. That sounds good. And then I'll just add a little bit of fresh pepper. And a little bit of salt. While that's browning too, I like to drop the garlic cloves in just for a little bit of extra flavour. And I love garlic too, so I always put lots of big chunks in. But if you're not too much of a fan, you can just reduce the number of cloves. Then just to brown your chicken all through, you can then spin him around. Turn him over like that. You can see that that's browning up nicely. So once that chicken and garlic's just lightly browned, we're going to bring it over and drop it into our slow cooker. And then all I'll do is add those other ingredients. So we'll add our 4 cups of chicken stock. And the 1 cup of white wine. And those 2 lemons that we've chopped up. Then you can just drop those lemons in, and they'll actually cook away with the chicken. And then the last thing for now. And then what I like to do is actually grab the full stalks of the parsley, just like that, and just drop those in, snap them in half, and then we'll just drop them in with the chicken. Just tuck them in there. And then we'll set that onto auto. Now, if you are using the slow cooker, that can bubble away for 6 to 7 hours, and then when you come to serve, it will be beautifully folie party and delicious. If you don't have a slow cooker or you're short on time, you could throw that into the pressure cooker and that would be ready in 45 minutes. Or you can even cook that on the stove top in a Dutch oven, as long as you've got a saucepan that has a big lid. If you keep that on a low heat and let that simmer away gently, you just want to get to the point where the chicken is starting to fall off the bone. So about 20 minutes before you're ready to eat and your chicken's still bubbling away in the slow cooker, all you need to do now is prepare the pasta. And that's as simple as adding the pasta to some salted boiling water. And then cooking that until it's nicely al dente. Now while the pasta's cooking, this is the perfect chance to make yourself a fresh pesto. You can obviously make a basil pesto, a really traditional pesto, but I thought for a little bit of a change, we might make a baby spinach and a continental parsley pesto. Very simple. All we want to do is add our 1.5 cups of pine nuts, our 1.5 cups of parmesan. I'm going to put in about 1/2 cup of olive oil. But obviously you need to judge this depending. And then what we'll do is we'll put in a couple of handfuls of our baby spinach, and you need to pack that in. We're going to make our little blender work very hard. Poke all of that in there. And then what we want to do is lots of these beautiful fresh parsley leaves. Now try and avoid the stalks if you can. So I basically like to pick off the leaves. There we go. Because those stalks are obviously much harder. There we go. Now this pesto is going to give you that beautiful, fresh little burst of flavour. So that is a beautiful, fresh, bright green pesto, which is ready to go. So to give the sauce that your chicken has been cooking in a beautiful silky creamy finish, what I like to do is just add a little tiny bit of cream just toward the end. And to thicken that up a little bit, I'm just going to add just 1 teaspoon of corn flour, and then I'll just mix that through 3 tablespoons of cream. Just make sure there are no lumps in there. And then what we'll do is we'll pop that sauce back onto the stove and let that thicken up just a little bit. So because we've been using the slow cooker, I'm just going to pop that back onto the heat just to warm that up a little bit. You can see that that is looking delicious. And then I'm just going to add that little bit of cream and corn flour into the sauce. Just pour that through, and then that will thicken up nicely. So once that pasta's cooked, you're just going to drain that. I've just drizzled a tiny little bit of olive oil through that to prevent it from sticking together. And then all we're going to do is put that onto our lovely large serving plate. So that little bit of corn flour and cream has nicely thickened up the sauce. It's not too thick, you don't want it too thick. So now all we need to do is literally scoop out that lovely delicious chicken. You can see that it's all starting to fall off the bone. Look at that, it's all falling off the bone. And we're just going to sit it all on top of that pasta. Now obviously this is not the most beautiful dish in the world, but I can assure you that it tastes amazing. Now that you'll find that there will be still bones in here, but to be honest, a dish like this is all about just sitting there with the family and picking through, pulling that chicken off the bones. It's kind of a really nice slow meal to enjoy with the family. And the very last step for our lemon chicken pesto pasta is just to put a little bit of that beautiful fresh pesto just around the dish. You can see how bright green it is, that beautiful baby spinach, parsley. Look at those little dollops. And then just a couple of little leaves as a last minute garnish. So we're ready to serve. We've got a delicious lemon pesto chicken, and we've used a fresh whole Ingham's chicken, and it is looking amazing.